relating to pest infestation. The Mexican authorities, therefore, have pledged to support Nigeria to build capacity on how to detect and treat agricultural produce before exporting them to any country. The UN General Assembly has adopted a resolution to demand an end to the decades-old U.S. embargo on Cuba. The resolution was adopted with 185 votes in favor, 2 against, and 2 abstentions. The United States and Israel voted against the draft. Brazil and Ukraine abstained. It was the 30th resolution in a row on the necessity of ending the economic, commercial, and financial embargoes imposed by the U.S. on Cuba. Cuban Foreign Minister Bruno Rodriguez, in his speech at the general debate before the vote, once again condemned the U.S. for its 60-year blockade on Cuba, which has brought huge economic losses and severe humanitarian disaster to Cuba. Now, former Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu returns to power as the final vote count from elections this week gave him and his far-right allies a clear majority in parliament. Results released by the Electoral Commission said that with 99% of votes counted, Netanyahu's right-wing Likud party had earned 32 seats in Israel's 120-seat parliament, the Knesset. That combined with 18 for 2 ultra-Orthodox Jewish parties and 14 for the rising extreme right alliance called Religious Zionism, gave the bloc supporting Netanyahu 64 seats. The Court of Appeal sitting in Port Harcourt has affirmed Senator Degi Remenyo as the authentic candidate of the All Progressives Congress APC for the Bayelsa East Senatorial District for the 2023 polls. In a unanimous judgment of the 3-man panel of justices read by Justice Ike, the court dismissed the appeal filed by Sudagu Festus Omoni, who was the appellant. The panel described the appeal as lacking in merit. The appeal court upheld the decision of the trial court, which found the conduct of the primary election of Bayelsa East Senatorial District as being substantially in compliance with the Electoral Act. With this verdict, Senator Degi Remenyo, who is the current chairman, Senate Committee on Host Communities Producing Oil and Gas, is the APC candidate for Bayelsa East Senatorial District. Now, these were the stories trending at this time. We thank you for watching. Political Update is next.
TV. In a week where issues of election security, election spending, and manifestos topped political discourse, we track activities of the political parties and the candidates as they woo prospective voters with their strategies. In all this, the citizens continue to have their banters on the destination of state, giving the clear signal that the game is changing and individuals will have to be well convinced before they place their thumbs on any project. And talking about projects, analysts and stakeholders are saying great plans may not just cut it this time. Clear action to convert concepts to actuality is desired. Also on Political Update today, governorship elections in 2023 look too close to call in some states, giving an exciting and, in some cases, nerve-wracking subplot to the 2023 elections. We have all these and more lined up today. I'm Fisayo Ogunfe. Welcome. Ahead of the 2023 general elections, INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu has sworn in 19 resident electoral commissioners. Out of the 19, only 5 are reappointed and the others are fresh recks.
If I disappoint Nigerians, our loyalty is to Nigeria and our allegiance is to Nigerians. Only their votes should determine winners in the 2023 general election. Nothing more, nothing less. There should be no deviation from this path of honor and integrity.
And still talking elections, strict enforcement of the Electoral Act 2022, especially provisions that deal with electoral offenses, is key to peaceful elections in Nigeria. Election stakeholders at a workshop in Abuja expressed confidence in the ability of the Electoral Act to ensure credible elections.
So why must I kill another? Because I want to rule. If I kill everybody, who will I be ruling?
Members of the Association for Public Policy Analysis gathered here, giving their own perspectives on how the elections can be peaceful, believing that the 2023 polls will be a litmus test for the nation's democracy.
Consequently, voter education programs of INEC and NOA and security agencies are expected to make provision for anti-electoral violence messages.
Critical election stakeholders are of the view that emerging threats to violence and rigging of the forthcoming 2023 general elections must be contained by all.
The forthcoming elections put the country at a very critical crossroad where Nigerians must get it right.
The handbook on electoral offenses, violence and crimes for 2023 general elections in Nigeria is unveiled for political leaders, election management body and the electorate. The document identifies all the electoral offenses spelled out in the 2022 Electoral Act.
With the general elections fast approaching, an independent observer group, the National Peace and Development Forum, has assured Nigerians that all arrangements put in place by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, are in order. It is, however, appealing for a sequence reorder, a tall order.
The National Peace and Development Forum, an independent election monitoring group, is lending its voice in the ongoing discourse on the reordering of the sequence of the 2023 general elections, beginning with the Goba polls, stating that it will help fight voter apathy.
The electorate will have a sense of belonging and participate more in the process, such that the entire electoral outcome will be a reflection of the true will of the people if the state election precedes federal poll.
The group states that from the experience in monitoring elections over the years, electorates are usually alienated from the presidential candidates compared to those vying for Guba and state legislators who they considered sons of their soil, appealing to INEC to see reasons and commence the 2023 general elections with the Guba polls.
We'll continue our series on the Kebbi Guba race, and the Labour Party governorship candidate in the state, Gambo Paul Tasse, has promised Kebbi State the true dividends of democracy if given the chance to become the state's helmsman.
The Labour Party is one of the major political parties participating in the gubernatorial race in Kebbi State. The candidate of the party, Gambo Paul Tasse, described himself as the savior of Kebbi State if elected as the governor of the state, considering the way it's trailing behind its peers in virtually all spheres of human endeavors.
States created along with Kebbi State in 1991 have all made appreciable progress, but Kebbi State has remained at the bottom of the ladder. The time has therefore come to end this tragedy of bad governance.
He was specific on socio-economic development indices in the state that he noted are at standstill, giving rise to decay in critical infrastructure and abandonment of multi-billion naira projects initiated by previous administrations that litter the state.
And my professional exposure has therefore prepared me to identify and attract national and foreign investors to join us in the development and transformation of our dear state.
Gambo also urged Labour Party supporters to remain law-abiding before, during and after the general election, as the contest is not worth the blood of any indigene of Kebbi State.
We're hoping to get Paul Gambotase via Zoom or telephone, but if we do that, we would get on with that in the course of the program. But for now, moving on to the presidential election, Nigerians will be given the opportunity to interrogate APC's Tinubu Shetima presidential campaign manifesto. The Policy, Research and Strategic Directorate of the Campaign Council says it will serve as a link between the citizens and the party.
Hit the ground running.
The committee described itself as the heart of the APC 2023 Presidential Campaign Council and expressed readiness to explore relevant expertise in carrying the campaign messages to the grassroots.
This is the directorate that will cause the connection to happen between politics and policy. This is a directorate that will ensure that the giant strides that have been made by Muhammadu Buhari administration, especially in the areas of critical infrastructure, are communicated in the most effective and efficient manner to all classes of Nigerians.
Our work is basically very dynamic at the policy level, and there's so much more.
We are not afraid of it. We interrogated, we will answer questions. Every person, every member of this committee, of this campaign, and the candidates will now sit down and be able to explain this document for you. All these, they say, will be achieved through teamwork.
Meanwhile, the All Progressives Congress National Integrity Movement has commenced engagement with voters. The group says grassroots mobilization across the 6 geopolitical zones has commenced with stakeholders in the North Central.
When you look at the developed countries in the world, there's no way you can attain development in the world without starting from the grassroots. The grassroots people are the foundation of any developed nation in the world. So that is why we are here to meet with the grassroots people, to see them moving forward, to see us moving the nation forward. So we have to put them at the driver's seat.
We'll take it upon ourselves to ensure that they're empowered, to ensure that they're carried along, to ensure that they're given the sense of belonging, because from their cry, you could hear it's all about sense of belonging. They need to be part of the system called APC. They want to feel APC in their lives, and that's what they have expressed here.
The Atiku Okowa presidential ticket of the People's Democratic Party is engaging stakeholders in what it called efforts towards rebuilding Nigeria if given the mandate. This formed part of the issues discussed at a media briefing in Abuja.
Pushing for the victory of the Atiku Okowa 2023 ticket is the major agenda at this media briefing by the Director of Strategic Communications of the Campaign Council, Dele Momodu, flanked by the Deputy Director General of Operations of the campaign organization and former Governor of Cross River State, Senator Lee Elimoke, and some other council members. Atiku's covenant with Nigerians, unity, security, education, economy, and devolution of powers to federating units were put in proper perspective.
Our candidate is busy round the clock because, one, he has the experience, two, he has the network, he knows who to talk to, and he knows what to say to them. He has the register, what we call register in literature, the right kind of communication. Atiku Abubakar will tell you that all that is left for him is to deliver a legacy.
Atiku is the very person that Nigeria needs as a unifier of today, of this moment.
We are very much willing at any given time that individuals want to join our train, for them to join. What is most important is that we have got a mission to recover this country from where it is at the moment.
The PDP and its presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar will continue to engage critical stakeholders of the party towards fostering more cohesion as it moves ahead with electioneering campaigns. The members promised.
Member representing Jalingo Yorozin, Federal Constituency of Taraba State, Honorable Kasim Meigari, is one of the young legislators in the 9th Assembly, and he joined us earlier discussing about issues surrounding youth empowerment in his constituency, asking to be given another opportunity at COM 2023.
In the past 3 years, we have done a lot in education. We built many schools and we renovated some. The new one we built, I have a comprehensive vocational training center in Model Primary School, Jalingo. We built another secondary school in Lama. We built in Bitako, all in Zin. We are building some in your local government as we speak. We have renovated not less than 20 primary and secondary school across the house of my own constituency. And we have distributed a lot of learning materials. We have been giving scholarship to students. The best in every schools, we have been picking 1 or 2 people among the best students to sponsor them. We have been paying WAEC, NECO, and JAM to less privileged students. So at least we have done a lot in respect of education. We are doing a lot in agriculture. We have empowered our constituents. We have given them farming tools. We have been training them on how to go about mechanized farming. And more so, I have a bill creating tuber processing, production, and research institute in Zin local government, Yam and Tuba, in Zin local government to boost the farming in that area. You know, our people generally, they are into yam farming. So by the time we improve the seed, we can have maybe 2 or 3 harvests in a year. It will go a long way in boosting economic and security in that constituency. I can say it, there's none, not only in Jalingo, whereas in the whole state, somebody that can come and say, he have employed youth more than I do. I have employed more than 100 in the federal agencies, different parastatals and agencies in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The records are there. We can publish the name, the contact, and address of every individual that I secured appointment for him in the federal government. And in terms of training and safe employment, we have been doing this. In terms of Empower, I don't think there's any constituency in this country that have beneficiaries the way I have in my constituency. The records are there. People can go and check. So our youths have been engaged in self-reliance activities. So there's so many things that I have been doing, I did and have been doing for my younger generations. This is a foundation. By the time we come back to the house, we have a lot to do in terms of youth empowerment. You know, all this insecurity is the genesis of insecurity is unemployment. If you can train people and give them capital to be self-reliant, you will reduce the insecurity we're having in this country. So I will concentrate more on education and self-reliance.
A support group, Amza Al-Mustafa Volunteer Youth Ambassadors, say they will strive to deliver their candidate through issue-based campaigns, canvassing for votes across the country and ensuring that Nigerians are acquainted with the Action Alliance Manifesto for Good Governance.
And that claim is wrong, and we believe that that person is being used by some politicians in order to confuse Nigerians, because His Excellency Dr. Hamza Al-Mustafa is gaining popularity, is gaining confidence from majority of Nigerians.
I was still hoping to get in touch with the Labour candidate of the Labour of Kebbi State in the course of discourse that is Gambo Paul Tasse for his discussions about the development of the state. Earlier in the week, we had the PDP candidate for that state as well. Hopefully, we will see that before we round off today. And then to some stories from the judiciary. The Court of Appeal, Port Harcourt Division, has ruled in favor of Senator Degi Eremianyu, the chairman, the current chairman of the Senate Committee on Host Communities Producing Oil and Gas, as eligible to recontest the 2023 general elections and the authentic candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, for the Bayelsa East Central District for the 2023 polls. The Court of Appeal, Port Harcourt Division, in a ruling on Friday, November 4, 2022, that is today, describes the submissions and prayers by Sudao Guo Omoni, an aspirant for the 2023 Bayelsa East Senatorial District Primary, 2022 Bayelsa East Senatorial District Primary of the APC, as lacking in merit and to be disregarded and upheld the earlier judgment of the Federal High Court Yenegua Division. The High Court, in its ruling on the 15th of September 2022, had described the primary as validly conducted and also dismissed the prayer challenging Senator Degi's competence in contesting the 2023 general elections based on a Supreme Court judgment of 2019 disqualifying him for the duty the deputy governorship seat of Bayelsa State. Just a quick look at some of the stories we took in the course of the day. We spoke about the strict enforcement of Electoral Act 2022, especially provisions that deal with the electoral offenses as key to peaceful elections in Nigeria. That was expressed by stakeholders at a workshop in Abuja, expressing confidence in the ability of the Electoral Act to ensure credible elections. We also brought to you that the general elections, as it is fast approaching an independent observer group, the National Peace and Development Forum has assured Nigerians that all arrangements put in place by the Independent Electoral Commission are in order. It's however appealing for a sequence reorder. Of course, one of the main stories trending, of course, is the 19 newly inaugurated electoral commissioners, and we'll see how critical that role is to the general elections. My name is Fisal Gunfi, thanking you for being a part of Political Update today. Keep a date with us again on Tuesday at the same time, where we'll bring you another candidate from those states as we look towards their manifestos, their plans for the people, and looking towards the 2023 elections. We continue to say keep it clean and out of mud slinging. My name is Fisal Gunfi, thanking you for staying tuned. All the best. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and don't forget to stay hooked to the Nigerian Television Authority for your news, reviews, previews, and interviews. And as we say on this program, play your politics for the greater good. Bye-bye now.